Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twit.
Bandwidth for This Week in Google is provided by CacheFly. CacheFly.com. This is Twig, This Week in Google, episode 385 for Wednesday, December 28th, 2016. The year's best. This Week in Google is brought to you by Blue Apron. Blue Apron will send you fresh, high-quality ingredients to cook delicious meals with simple, step-by-step instructions right to your door. See what's on the menu this week and get your first 3 meals free with free shipping by going to blueapron.com/twit. Hello, everybody, and welcome to a very special Twig for the last show of 2016. I decided to give the staff a week off. Stacy's off, with her daughter and her husband having a lovely Christmas. Jeff Jarvis is off lighting fires around Republican headquarters nationwide. But no, kidding. It's a joke. But we do have some of the best moments from 2016, and we had a lot of fun in a lot of different ways. Twig, I always think of as our most intellectual show because of its hosts. Let's go way back to the beginning of the year before Stacey Higginbotham joined us as a regular. Jeff Jarvis is here, of course, our great friend Gina Trapani, and Lynn D. Johnson. And as fitting, I had just come back from vacation aboard one of the largest cruise ships in the world, and we were playing with the Theta 360 cam, the 360-degree camera, and there's a little bit here from the boat watch. Well, you saw that I did bring a good camera on my cruise. And I took a lot of iPhone pictures, but ultimately most of my pictures were with that Ricoh Theta S, the 360-degree camera. I'm really excited about that.
Can you see using that just in general life?
It's I think I did.
You did, yeah. That's true. You did. Yeah.
This is general life.
Yeah,
I'm using it quite a bit, and I posted on YouTube. If you go to my Leo Laporte YouTube channel, you can see all the videos. But it's still not very good.
Now I'm going to friend envy your life.
Yeah, will you please? Will you please just envy my life?
Definitely.
The quality is not great. What's great is, though, that you could put this on Facebook or Google. I was loving the reactions in the comments. People would say, wait a minute, I turn my phone and the picture turns. Because if you have an up-to-date phone with up-to-date Facebook, your picture will follow your phone's angle, and you can look around. It's very easy to shoot these. You don't have to pan or anything. You're just holding this stick, and you're just taking pictures as you walk or whatever. And I wish the quality were better. I wish it had an external microphone. But this is the third generation. The next one will get. This guy bumps me over here. It gets better. But this is the robot bar, where robotic arms, the same arms that are stealing the jobs of American workers everywhere. Steal
Tom Cruise's job.
Steal a bartender's job. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. 2 bartenders. How to work like that? Although I'm thinking somebody's got to fill those bottles that are hanging from the ceiling.
Yeah.
So.
Wow. So those arms are reaching out for those bottles and pouring drinks.
Yeah. So watch. We're gonna order a drink. I loved this. It looks like an iPad. It's an Android device. It's running a dedicated app. We'll turn it here. I'll jump ahead a little bit. We'll turn it around and I'll show you. So you can order. You tap it. By the way, you're wearing an RF-enabled bracelet called a Wow Band. Wow! It's like Jeb. It's a Wow Band. And you tap the Wow Band to the, which I did about a bunch of times, and then you can enter in your drink, and that will be sent to the robot bartender. So there's the drink that non-alcoholic. By the way, adding insult to injury, it's a $4 drink, and they add an 18% tip for the robot.
No. No.
What the hell?
Listen, robot rights.
Robot rights. So watch, the robot now has a cup in its hand, and it puts it down. This is going to be my cup, and then it has a container, and it goes around and it fills it up. There's a soda in the back, and it's going to get some juice from those hanging bottles or booze bottles, And the woman is showing me that my name is up here and what drink and what stage the robot is in with the drink is over there. And
Who
buses
busts your
the
drink if you don't tip
tables?
them well?
who busses the tables? Humans have the menial jobs, of course, because they don't allow the robots to roam freely. That would be dangerous. You gave me 18%.
This is
Are
just
we shaking it now?
Yeah.
regular Royal Caribbean cruise, Leo. This is top drawer stuff.
Well, the reason I went on this boat, because I had to go to New Jersey to be on this boat, which is crazy because I went to New Jersey to sail to the Caribbean. But the reason I went on this boat is because this is a brand new boat. This is this is their state-of-the-art technology.
Gotcha.
And it's very exclusive. There are only 5,000 other people on this boat with me. But the robot bar, it's not too crowded. It's not jammed with people. I love it that you can look around. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, that's
That
really
is
cool.
amazing.
And then you tap your WOW band on the bar when the robot's done and the drink comes sliding out to you. That way nobody can steal your drink.
Oh.
Isn't that clever?
Oh, very nice.
Yeah. I enjoyed it.
These freaking phone companies.
All right, let's get to it. We've been holding off. I've been putting it off. Jeff and Verizon. Never a love story.
No.
The saga continues.
Never. They never. And people who ask me, so did they ever hook up your Nexus 7? No, they never did. So I had my wife's iPad on it, and I had my old Pixel still on it. Stupidly, I hadn't canceled that because I wasn't using the LTE on that, but I had two things on it. And I was paying $50 a month for those two things. $30 data plus $10 per line. Okay? And suddenly I'm getting, it was Christmas time, so we weren't using either, right? They were sitting dormant. We're at home. And suddenly I get data warnings. You're going over data. You're about to go over data. You went over data. Oh, you're way over data. What the hell? So go on, and somebody had hacked the account and added or switched the two lines to two iPhone 6s, bought a gig of data, immediately used 2.6 gigs of data. Sigh. Hour and a half on the phone dealing with 5 different people at Verizon. Stupid sandwich, just amazing. They have no good process for this. It's their problem. So they changed my password. This is not going to happen again, Mr. Jarvis. We're all fixed up. All right. Number 1, they didn't change the password. They came back in and did it again. Number 2, they didn't fix it up. Third time, I tried to kill the Chromebook. I can't kill that. It's back again. I finally said enough. I want a divorce. I went to the store and I said, just kill everything. I put my wife's iPad onto our AT&T account. I saved a net of $60 a month by doing this, and I waved goodbye to Verizon. Well, 2 points for this. So at one point in this, I had to go on my online Verizon thing and set up the account, and I had to come up with a friggin' password. So the password I wanted was F spelled out Verizon, and it, honest to God, I swear to truth, said bad password, too easy to guess.
Too obvious.
Oh.
Too
obvious.
easy to guess that our customers would feel this way at the point at which they're setting up their
And
password.
by the way, screw Verizon, same answer.
Really?
Yeah.
How hard was
Somebody's
the
gonna shoot
pushback
out
when
of
you
it
said
at
I
this
wanted to
point.
cancel everything? How hard did they push back?
Oh, they didn't cry or anything. They just didn't do it. So then I got a call because I wrote a Facebook
They
post
don't have to push back.
Then
They
I
just
got a
ignore
call.
you.
from a very nice lady, right? And there's one nice lady, right, who works in Verizon HQ. And when you're big trouble on social media, don't we know, right, Lynn? Don't you advise your people, right? She calls you and says, Mr.
Yeah.
Jarvis, what can we do to help you? And I said, what you can do to help me, I said, you're very nice, but your company is the spawn of Satan. I want a divorce. I never want to see you again. The account hasn't died. I want you to kill the account forever. And she was very nice and accommodating and did it. Why is it so hard to have that be the standard for customer service?
Well, and why do you have to have 500,000 Twitter followers to get it done?
Exactly. So, bye-bye, Verizon. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Verizon Mobile. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Oh, they took out the nice lady big guns.
Yeah. I got the nice lady from Comcast a couple of years ago because I was tweeting and really unhappy with the customer service, as you know. And the funny thing is, I thought the nice lady was going to take care of me. Mostly, she just basically said, "Could you stop tweeting?"
She's like, just stop. Please stop tweeting about this.
Please stop tweeting. And I thought, but this has really changed. From Frank Eliason and Comcast Cares, when they really did, like they said, okay, let's see if we can fix this. they've really come full circle now to just, all we really want you to do is to stop talking about it.
Like, what do we have to do to get you to stop tweeting?
We're not going to fix anything. We just want you to stop tweeting, please.
The nice ladies don't get paid enough.
I need to pay them more.
No. She's very nice.
No, they actually hire people who sound nice.
Oh, incredibly. And I didn't want to, with no one in this, I went psycho with no one, but I did say, I'm at my edge, folks.
Yeah.
This is
I could go over
obvious.
anytime.
This is easy. Yeah.
So you went to AT&T.
I was already on AT&T. It's where my unlimited account is.
Okay.
And I had shared stuff there, so I just added it there. I reduced a gig, and I saved money, and it's wonderful. So I'm happy.
But
I
because
saw Verizon Fios, and I'm happy with that all in all.
Yeah.
But Verizon Mobile is just spawn of Satan.
I think they all suck. Come on, can we just admit this?
They all do.
It's not.
They do.
The
Yeah.
people in the AT&T store, there's one friend of mine named Hugo who's been very helpful through Twit. Hey, friend of AT&T. I just found them. Yes, they're all problems, the companies, but all in all, the AT&T people I've dealt with have all in all been nicer and more competent. There's a different culture there.
Yeah.
The Verizon culture is we're number one.
Right. If you are not yet a subscriber to our Twit newsletter, good news. You can be a charter subscriber. You can get the very first newsletter, which goes out Sunday. If you go to twit.tv/newsletter and subscribe, it's double opt-in. So, we're not going to opt you in. You got to send an email and click a link. We'll send you an email. You click a link. What is that? Some words just flew in. Were those left off the newsletter? And now they flew right off the lower third. I've never seen that happen. They escaped. Twit.tv/newsletter is the place if you'd like to get our newsletter. And I will be writing little blurbs in there and others. It'll be mostly a look at what's ahead in the week on the network. Twit.tv/newsletter. Somebody tie those letters down. We've had so many great guests on This Week in Google. I think of Ars Technica's Ron Amadio. Man, he knows everything there is to know about Android. And every once in a while, we get a visit. We haven't had one lately because Matt's gone to work for the federal government. Maybe he'll be back soon, like in a couple of weeks. But one of my favorites is one of the earliest Googlers. Matt is, I think, employee 11, something like that. Matt Cutts. He, for many years, was in charge of keeping spammy links out of Google's search results. He's on sabbatical from Google. And as I mentioned, I think he's working for Code for America or something like that. But he was on the show back in March when we started talking about how Twitch works. As usual, I'm completely befuddled.
Well, that's a perfect segue to the next story down the row a little bit is Twitch is now giving Julia
This is
Child.
just weird. Julia Child channel on Twitch. Okay, here's how we take a chicken and cut it into quarters.
Right. Yeah, this is definitely before my time. Like the thing they did before this was Bob Ross, and that was pretty cool because like he's a chill guy in painting, and it's interesting.
Neat. That was really neat.
Yeah, it's just cool to see him paint. But this, like, I don't know, you don't get to eat the food afterwards. So
I grew up watching this show, The French Chef. It was really the first cooking show on PBS, and she was a very unlikely superstar. I met her. She's very tall, was very tall, and every bit as kind of kooky as she kind of came across. This is awesome.
And what's great is it's very, very live. There's no.
Oh yeah.
I mean, things happen.
Oh yeah.
She stuck a mixer. She stuck a spoon in a mixer last night.
Yeah.
And it went flying across
Well, you've been
the
watching
set.
it. You've been watching it all day, huh?
I was watching last night. Yeah. She was making some sort of orange butter.
No, it's totally not because nobody knew about cooking shows. She invented it.
I'm purposely hiding the comment section because there's a lot of stuff coming up that's weird, but it's interesting to watch. A lot of the younger audience are like, "Whoa, this is so cool!
What is that?
Why is the video
Julia
black
Child
and white?"
this with Twitch chat has got to be like the best thing ever. Come on.
Yeah, I'm not showing it. We don't. We no.
Wow.
What kind of a filter is that?
Wow. And
Is that XX Pro?
the thing everybody uses now on Twitch is these avatars that are people's heads. Like there's a Bob Ross head, and I imagine there'll be a Julia Child head eventually. I don't get that. So do you see all the heads going by? Do you do you understand that there, Jason? You're a young person.
Not at all. Young person on set would be this person right here.
Actually, you know what it is? It's a culture. It's a subculture that's.
It is, and this is the thing. Like they announced YouTube Gaming, and I'm like, Twitch has all of this culture stuff that like
Right.
YouTube Gaming is not going to have. Like that's where the community is. But yeah, all of those emotes, they're emotes, and they mean
something. Yeah.
Right. They all mean some kind of emotion. You know, the one everybody does is Kappa, which is some guy's head. He's like a Twitch developer, and he's making kind of a sarcastic face, so that's for sarcasm. And there's a million other ones. Yeah, if you like really want to get into it, you can mouse over it probably, and you'll get. You should get maybe a tooltip
That's
of
the
what
what.
it is.
That's the
and
what
you
face.
You can look it up, and
And
yeah,
then there's
you know,
baby rage, but that one's the what face. And
It's
then
just its own set of
the Kramer
emotes.
the Kramer one. They call that the Pog Champ.
Right.
I know what Pogs are.
PogChamp is it's a guy, and there's a video somewhere. There was like a YouTube video of a guy making that expression, and the
Right.
Twitch staff thought it was funny, so they just cut his head out and stuck it in there. And,
I feel so old.
but yeah, you can you can
it's
know
like-
your meme. Go
No, but-
look it up.
Yeah, but it's what happened. It's what happened in the Appalachians when you cut people off from the rest of the world for 100 years. They develop their own language, and that's what's happened on Twitch. These are people who never get outside anymore.
I don't know what you talking about.
It's
That's so wrong. That's so wrong.
the Appalachia of the internet, is what it is. This is one I wasn't here for. I've seen it many times, and I kick myself that I wasn't here. I was taking some time off in June, and Jason Howell filled in for me. Jeff and Gina and Ron Richards are on the show. And Jason was trying to do a little public service announcement, encouraging everybody to turn on two-factor authentication when things went horribly wrong.
I think I did something I should not have done, you guys.
Uh-oh.
I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and do this two-factor thing.
Oh, no.
Live on the air, man.
Don't do it on the show.
Sometimes
You
the
just want
best
it so
things
bad.
happen live, though. Like when I finally did it and hit OK, suddenly my Chrome OS said I needed to re-authenticate, right? Because now I'm protected by two-factor. I clicked the button to do it. It powered off. So then I powered it back on, and now I'm stuck at the sign-in waiting to receive the code. Here's where I messed up, because the number I gave it was my Google Voice number.
Oh.
My Google Voice number is on the other side of the authentication.
Oh, Jason.
Yeah, but isn't your Google Voice number, isn't your phone receiving Google Voice number?
It's not anymore.
messages?
What about the flip? Can you go to Google Voice on the flip?
Oh boy, probably not.
Oh my God. I feel
It's
so
really,
deeply
honestly, I'm
responsible.
happy this happened live because if anything, I could at least tell you not to do that.
Let's watch Jason lock himself out of every single one of his devices live.
Let's see. I just need to get to voice. That's all I need to do. Come on, Google. This one time, mess up and let me in. Let's see here. It says sign out, sign back in. Yeah. So this is synced now. Guys, I can't believe I did this for the
if
show.
You're not your Google account. I mean,
All right, sign out, sign back in. It powered down. Yeah, no, it's going to be the same issue. I'm not going to be able to get in. Why did I give it my Google Voice number? Why? Because that's what I give everything is my Google Voice number. But I can't get the Google Voice number code that was sent via SMS. So then, great explainer. What are alternatives?
So wait, okay, let's think this through, you guys. Let's keep a cool head.
Jason.
So the ways in which you could access your Google Voice SMS messages, isn't there in Gmail a chat label? Is that still true? Your Google Voice messages?
Well,
A lot of things have changed with Google Voice, but
the
that
problem
might
is
still-
in any way that I would get access to that, I'm going to need the two-factor to log in, right? And
But you're logged in on one. Aren't you logged in on your phone?
no, it said it needed to re-authenticate there as well.
Oh no.
Wait a minute.
Okay, is
It just went away. Jeez. You kidding me? It said it, and then it went away. Hold on. I know I can do this. It won't. Okay, because I think I got it. Hold on. I hope this works. You can vamp if you like. I've got to paste this in. I think I might have it.
The danger of two-factor right here.
No, and part of it is my misunderstanding, but I can understand why I didn't see it.
Did you ask
covered
for
it up.
for the printout of the 10 codes?
Sorry, there seems to be. That's pretty much what I got was 10 codes because I've requested them from everywhere. Okay, so I'm going to sign in again. I think I can do this. Do. This is a cautionary tale. Entering my password.
On a 3-hour tour.
The Google Voice wrinkle is definitely a wrinkle. I use my Google Voice number primarily, but when you set up, when I set up my backup phone number, I have to use my like native phone number because my Google Voice number is attached to my Google account, but I'm always so worried that I'm going to forget that and just get myself locked out. But you're going to resolve this, Jason. We're going to figure this out together. We're with you.
Okay, so the verification code that you are sent, that is the thing that you paste over there, right? So I got that right. Why it didn't accept it, I don't know. Yeah, it's weird. It's not accepting it when I put it in. All right, I'll continue work. Well, actually, I can't even move the show along. I can't even see our doc anymore.
Oh, no.
Oh, you guys. It seemed like a good idea at the time. Let me try again. Audio listeners are like, wow, you suck. Yeah, no, it's just not working. Tell me this is something that Leo would do, right?
Jason, hold on. When you sign up for two-factor, you have the option to get 10 permanent codes that you can put in your wallet and use. Should you ever need a code?
I should have done that.
You didn't do that. Oh, okay.
No.
And so you can't even get into your account dashboard now to do that, though, right?
No. It says try another way to sign in. When I do that, the only thing there is send a text message to your phone because that's the only thing I have set up.
So Jason, you never got to the code that went to Google Voice. Like that's what you need. You need to get the code that went to Google Voice. Is your voice number forwarding anywhere? Is there any device that it forwarded to, or might still be in the shade? Or
wait a minute. Do you have the Google Voice app on your phone? But there's no way the Google Voice app is updated to support two-factor authentication yet.
That's true.
Logged out.
That's true, but oh boy,
that app hasn't been updated for years.
I do have it on here, but I don't think I was signed in because oh boy, it's not going to work again. Yeah, it's going to do the whole changes thing. Is there a story you guys want to talk about while I figure this out? So let me just tell you this. Two-factor authentication is really effective.
By the way, Goggles is still around. I apologize.
It is.
Yeah, and it does.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it does the same thing. It has search from camera, get Goggles results for pictures you take. If you've enabled location in the settings app as well as in Google settings, they will send location data. Okay, so now it does. It's you take a picture of something, and it'll figure out where.
Will it recognize your logo?
That's a good question. That's exciting. Oh, that's good TV. Good TV. I tell you. It's not even doing anything.
Oh, maybe it's really gone.
Maybe it doesn't work. It just pretended to work. Oh, analyzing. Activate camera light. Oh my God, it worked.
Oh, you're kidding.
It says This Week in Tech, MP3 edition, Petaluma Landmark.
Oh, you're a landmark.
OMG. Thank you, Goggles. Welcome to the landmark.
Stacy's face.
Okay, now we're going to do Stacy's face because she's a landmark in Austin.
Oh, yes.
What a cute smile. All right. Let's see. Wait a minute. Now, what happened there? Okay. Activate camera light load. Oh, we got to do it again. What's going on? It's kind of slow.
It's rejecting my face.
It's wait a minute. You're not going to like this at all.
Oh, no.
I now know why Google thinks you're a boy.
Oh no.
Oh dear. Oh, that's so mean. I apologize.
Google.
I apologize for Google.
Oh, I'm so sad.
That is so mean.
Oh, it's
It's the short hair, I think.
it's the short. I'm not wearing lipstick. I mean, there's a lot of things wrong here from a Google perspective. Although, did it put me in glasses?
It did put you in glasses, which is really weird. It's really
Do
weird.
your own face. Do your own face. I'm installing it now.
Should I do? Okay, I'll do my own face.
Take a
Why
picture
not?
of yourself.
We are such idiots. God, people turn in this show to learn something. Instead, we're going, hey, here's this 5-year-old program we've just rediscovered. And look what it'll do. Yeah, Leo, it did that 5 years ago, you nitwit.
Yeah. Next show, we'll stick hats and funny filters over our faces.
Been there, done that.
Yeah.
I should do it to you, Jeff, because it probably...
Okay, do it to me.
Would you think it would think you're a woman?
Probably. No, it'll think I'm dead.
No, I was like, not with that beard, I hope.
He used to be on the side of a examiner.
Oh no.
It thinks you're a terrorist, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah. Leonardo DiCaprio. That's good. George Clooney.
Hey.
Oh, what's his name? Gyllenhaal.
What is the label above that? What does it say?
It says no objects recognized. Browse similar images. There you go. We found you, Jeff.
Oh, that's impressive facial hair right there.
Yeah.
That is.
Yeah. I think that'd be a good look for you.
Yeah, I like that. Amish Jeff.
Amish. This is very odd. Wait a minute. I'm gonna do you again, Stacey. I don't think we did you justice.
I think I'm about to be humiliated again.
I just feel we could do better. I don't know. I just, maybe if I just took it straight on instead, like that. I like how it does this. It does this analyzing. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, I'm still a boy.
Worse.
Oh, am I an animal? That's gonna be my new Google profile.
It's just really decided that you are a freak, apparently.
It's the blue in the hair. That's got to be what it is.
Why? What? Google? What? It doesn't, not at all. Not at all. The hell? This is just not, this is mean.
I was worried about this being creepy built into something, but I'm not worried.
That's just weird.
Oh.
There's, are you worried about Google search results? I don't think so. Can I do a picture of me? Wait a minute, let me.
That's hard to do. No, okay, yeah.
Do you have to use the rear camera? Can you?
Yeah, it doesn't seem like I can turn it around. It's not made for selfies. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's really good. I think we're going to retire this application. Okay. Yeah, that's me. That's me right there in a nutshell. Yeah, that's me. All right. So Google goggles, not so great.
Not so great.
Not so great.
Or we're just not landmarks. That's the
It
challenge.
worked with, what's weird is it worked with the Twit logo. Yeah, I think you have to be a landmark. Or maybe, I wonder, I should take a picture of a famous person with this and see if they're recognized.
Put up George Clooney and it will put up me.
That would be pretty impressive. I don't know how George would feel about that, but
I'm like, screenshot that and give it to Jeff. It would make his day.
something happened in July that changed the world. Really, one of the most dramatic events in technology history. The release of Pokemon Go. We couldn't stop talking about it for weeks. Of course, we have now. There were some people who couldn't even stop playing it. Watch. So both of you, I thought for sure this would be the first show I've done all week that doesn't mention Pokemon Go. I thought there's no way Jeff and Kevin. Yeah, there's no, not old, just serious. I thought there's no way these are serious guys. They're playing this dumb game.
How can you not?
You were saying, Jeff, that you see people playing in Manhattan everywhere?
Yes, it's really amazing because I walk down the street and now I see somebody standing there. Number one, you can tell if they're doing the motion.
Oh yeah, you really can tell because if somebody's playing Pokemon Go, they keep their phone out, because they're waiting for the buzz that says a Pokemon is nearby. So if you're like me and you surreptitious, you're walking, but your phone is there, and when you feel the buzz, then you start seeing this as they play the game. Oh wait a minute, I just got a buzz, and seriously, and then you start. And I'll show you. I'll demonstrate the motion because I'm actually going to fight a wild Zubat. And then you see this kind of finger up motion as they shoot the Pokeballs at the Zubat and try to take it home for their collection. So this game came out a week ago on Wednesday afternoon. Took everybody by surprise, except I guess people were really paying close attention. Somebody just got something.
Something appeared, yeah.
Yeah, that's the cry of the wild something. Yeah, so you hear their cry, and then Kevin's just playing the game for the first time, I think.
I'm a lousy shot.
Yeah, it's hard. So you notice I turned off the augmented reality, which was...
Yeah, I was going to ask why. I think that's part of the fun of it, isn't it?
It's the fun of it, but it also saps battery life.
Oh, boy, does it, yeah.
Because your camera's on all the time. So you could turn that off, and that will help. And then it makes it a little bit harder. I find it's easier, at least for me, without the augmented reality. There you go. You caught it, Kevin. Nice. So that's added to your Poke collection. You can now turn the sound
I was in
down.
Facebook's New York headquarters yesterday. And,
oh, good. You got an Enax? Snake spelled backwards?
I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, that's a really good one.
Ecans.
Ecans. Keep the Ecans, yeah. So your idea is you're going to get these. These are baby Pokemon that you evolve to stronger and stronger, sometimes once or twice. And then...
Ta-da!
You caught another one. There's a bunch of them around your house.
Well, that's because I just signed up, so they were easy ones, right?
Yeah, not necessarily. Usually you have to walk. That's the virtue of this game. I mean,
they have another version for Brits.
It's not. It's only U.S., Australia, Canada. Carson told me it rolls out today in Germany, which is surprising because, frankly, the servers have been very unreliable because so many people are signing up in those three countries. And Niantic, the company that made this, which is a former Google company, has said we're not going to roll it out as fast as we thought globally. However, the thing people can do, and I don't recommend this, you can download on Android, sideload an APK from one of the... Can you turn that down? I never thought I'd say that.
Kevin.
He enjoyed the game a little too much. One of the biggest events for me this year and for This Week in Google was the addition of the amazing, the wonderful Stacey Higginbotham to our team. Stacey, I became aware of Stacey when she was an editor at GigaOM and was one of the most astute writers and editors I'd ever written or read. She was writing, I was reading. I'd ever read. Really, really good. She left when GigaOM folded, went to Fortune, and to our great good fortune, Left Fortune has done her own thing. She's doing an IoT podcast. She's writing about the Internet of Things, and she appears most weeks on This Week in Google. We are really thrilled to have her. Here's Stacey emitting what has now become her trademark exclamation. You'll know what I mean in a sec. Well, it's like me. I have probably $4,000 or $5,000 worth of Sonos equipment.
Yeah, me too. Oh! Did you guys? That was me being excited.
That was so exciting. Yes.
So this is a
Can I make that a ringtone?
Please. I want that ringtone. Please.
This is such a common question. I have to tell people about it. So a company called
You're just the greatest. Thank you, Stacey. I love you.
Okay. They showed a video for an Echo skill that is not yet approved that will to control your Sonos from your Amazon Echo. Oh. So if you Google, it's a YouTube video it's the company that does Josh AI, Josh.ai.
Oh, so it's not an official interface?
It's not approved yet. They've made the skill.
But it's not from Sonos?
It's not from Sonos.
Why not?
Because Sonos doesn't have their API put together yet. Anyway, there it is.
Third-party app Josh will bring a few new skills and different voices to Echo. That's interesting.
And the Sonos thing is kind of at the end. So the first part
is Josh like an is it in the Echo? Is it in my Echo?
Josh is actually home control with voice.
Oh, so it's not in my Echo.
No, it's a skill that they've developed, and they're just waiting for approval.
But it's an Echo skill.
They've designed it to be, but Amazon has to approve it.
So I'd be saying things like ask Josh to play Beyonce Lemonade on my Sonos.
On my Tesla, so I can control it.
Josh?
Yeah, and that's the part of the Amazon Echo that doesn't work. We need artificial intelligence, and we need Alexa choosing the skill. If I have to remember the secret code.
Yeah, Echo.
Yeah,
Echo.
sorry. The
we just say Echo.
Virtual assistant that shall not be named.
Yeah.
That should be picking the skill, not me. I can't remember all of these commands.
Well, you can now. Yeah, I agree with you. And that's what Google and Apple are about to do, where they disintermediate. They or actually vice versa. They intermediate. They become your ombudsman and go out and get what you need. And they know what apps you have, and they know what skills you need, and you just ask her. That's how Echo should be too, right?
Right.
Yeah, and Viv will be like that too, which is
right. Viv.ai. Thanks to Nigel Town in our chat room. The Stacey Higginbotham ringtone.
Yay!
Oh,
Turn on my audio. Turn on my audio. You got it?
Oh, oh, oh. Oh, oh, oh.
Audience, you are the best.
Oh, oh, oh.
Put that on your daughter's Nexus 5X.
Oh, oh, oh.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, oh, oh.
Nigel Town. I think I love you, man.
You have to put it on your own phone.
Oh, oh, oh. I think I'll give that to my husband. He'll just be like, what just happened here?
Sneak it onto his phone tonight. Yes.
Yeah, he'll be like, Stacy's eating something again. She must be.
That is so endearing.
All right. Well, it is endearing is a good word for it. I only have a minute or two.
Title too. Oh, oh, oh.
It is the show title.
Oh, oh, oh.
So
you saw the story of the guy who's maybe it saved his life after we had that.
That's such BS. That's such BS. I think Elon planted that story. It said that Tesla drove him to the emergency room.
No. It drove him to the exit. He had to take over then. Couldn't go all the way. But he just decided that.
But you understand that the nav system on a Tesla is not in any way connected to the autopilot, right?
Right.
So it didn't drive him anywhere. It just kept him from.
He just stopped having to drive.
Plowing into something.
Yes.
And he at some point had to sit up and go, oh, there's the exit to the emergency room and drive himself the rest of the way.
If he didn't have that aid, if he had to drive the whole way, he couldn't have done it. He would have had to stop and get an ambulance. It would have taken too long. He would have conked.
Right.
So the argument is that this got him closer to the hospital.
I think it sounds like an attempt to counter.
Yes, I think so.
All the negative publicity myself.
Like my mom, she actually had like crazy thing happen to her that caused internal bleeding. She passed out, ran her car into a guardrail. She survived.
That wouldn't have happened with a Tesla.
But with the Tesla,
yep,
that wouldn't have happened.
If she had autopilid, auto steer it.
But what I wonder is, Stacey, so if God forbid your mom had lost consciousness, would the Tesla have kept? Would it have just kept going?
Yes.
At some point in time, it stops. Doesn't it stop?
Well, if she loses consciousness and her hands aren't in the wheel, eventually it will slow down and stop, or it first alerts you, and I think also if the road gets more curvy, it alerts you. I've gone long distances without it telling me to put my hands on the wheel, so I don't know.
They say it's supposed to, but yeah, I've heard from people who are like,
doesn't seem
happened to me.
You don't have autopilot in yours, right?
I don't.
Yeah.
Which is a shame because I pass out a lot, so it could be handy.
I think those are called the vapors. You just
I'm a swooner.
I swoon. Oh my goodness.
What's new on it?
What? Something exciting just happened, ladies and gentlemen. For the latest, we go to Stacey Higginbotham on a street somewhere in Austin, Texas. Stacey?
Oh, this is from Scooter X in the chat room. And I was not caring about Allo as much. And he sent a thing about Harry Potter magic coming to Google from 9 to 5 Mac. And we are going to be able to say Lumos. And our flashlight's going to come on.
Oh,
so
yeah.
we have to say, okay, Google Lumos.
Oh,
and then you can do Silencio. and your ringer will turn
Now
off.
this was an Amazon Echo task some time ago where I think I mentioned it on this show, all the different spells you could add. But this is going to be now part of inside the so I could do that in my phone with by just saying okay Google and then
Silencio.
Silencio.
Oh my God.
My Messenger icon just changed too, so something changed there. I don't know.
So I did it on my Pixel and it just said righto.
Oh, maybe it's giving
Lumos. Oh! It
and
is.
Knox turns it off.
It
Knox
did do
turns
it.
off.
What? Look, you can show it now.
If you do that in Allo or where?
Over the shoulder.
Okay, Google, right? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, Google.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So I said, Lumos.
Okay, Google.
And it shows the flashlight. And then, I should point out that it's on. And then I go, Knox. And it turned on.
Okay, Google doesn't work.
I'm so excited. Sorry, Karsten.
Avada Kedavra.
Lumos.
Oh, it won't kill anybody for you, unfortunately. By the way, I don't know where we're going to use this article, but I think I'm going to use it right now. I bookmarked it, and I think we should. This is
laser started a fire.
This is the unknown danger of surgical lasers.
During surgery after the patient farted in the middle of the operation. While the doctors operated on the woman's cervix, she apparently passed gas and then ended up being burned after the laser ignited the fart, resulting in a fiery explosion. A committee of experts.
This is not a joke.
I cannot believe that's not a joke.
Yes, it's a joke.
This happened. No, at the Tokyo Medical University Hospital. The patient's intestinal gas leaked into the space of the operation, ignited with the irradiation of the laser. The burning spread, eventually reaching the surgical drape and causing a fire. There you have it, folks. Patient burned.
I feel like they must have been doing like ablations and stuff inside people's like abdominal cavities. And that's
what you're saying is it's shocking this hasn't happened sooner.
Well, I feel like people would like. We should know about this.
I smell Snopes.
Yeah.
It does come from the New York Daily News. How trustworthy is the New York Daily News? What do you think, Jeff?
It's GQ Magazine and Gizmodo. Metal Floss. Who else running this?
Well,
Snopes.
everybody's probably...
Okay, Snopes. Let's see Snopes.
All right. What does Snopes say?
2 days ago, Snopes says... No, scroll down, Snopes. Come on. Now it's hanging up on me.
Experts charged with investigating the incident ruled that there were no other flammable materials present at the time of surgery, and the equipment that was used did not malfunction, leading them to believe the woman's flatulence was the culprit.
God, this poor woman.
This is what makes Howard Stern so successful, because farts are just
you can't help
funny.
but laugh. Well, it's this is a new segment on the show when technology strikes. What does Snopes say?
Just crashed. Can I just crashed? Can you look it up? Look up fart laser fire, and you'll see Snopes down about 5. And I just crashed my Chromebook. What is it? What do they say?
They just reported it. They didn't.
Yeah,
Look, it's from the Asahi Shimbun. This is from the Asahi Shimbun, which is this is the New York Times of Japan. If Snopes is repeating the rumor.
Yes, Snopes is repeating it.
I think that's not, let's get PolitiFact on it. I really didn't want to do that story. You notice I held it to the very end of the show. Oh my. That could well be an early appearance of fake news. I don't know, but it's a great story. As we continue on, I hope you're enjoying our best of 2016 for this week in Google. Our show coming up, Jonathan Abrams, the founder of Friendster, is going to talk about Google AMP. Actually, we had a debate all year long about Google's AMP technology. We'll take a look at Facebook Live. We've got some Google I/O stuff. But before we do that, I want to mention our sponsor, and I'm really thrilled that they're here with us. during this holiday week is typically a very slow time. And a lot of times, my experience has been in radio and TV. You don't have many advertisers the week after Christmas. They figure everybody's all shopped out. But Blue Apron is with us, and I'm really glad. And, I think it makes sense because as we've all, I hope, had a chance to get together with loved ones, family, and friends, and shared this holiday season. I'm sure you're still doing that. One of the things that comes to mind is you kind of get reminded, we should do this more often. This is great. We should eat together more often. That's what Blue Apron is all about. Its mission is to make incredible home cooking accessible to everybody while supporting a more sustainable food system with the highest standard for ingredients and building a community of home chefs. There is Michael Pollan has said this in his book. I think was it called Cooking? One of the few things humans do that no other animal, no other beast does is cook. And sitting down around a meal is such a significant event in a family, in a relationship. Breaking bread, we even have a term for it, breaking bread together. Blue Apron kind of adds that one little piece because, you can do it at a restaurant. You can get together at a restaurant. That's fine. But when you trust me, I love doing this. I love to cook. When you make a meal for your loved ones, you put all that love and caring into it, and they enjoy it. It just is so satisfying. Blue Apron makes that easy by delivering you every ingredient you need to make an amazing meal, either for two or for a family. They have two different plans. With ingredients that are fresh, never frozen, even the meats and fish, because it's a refrigerated box. They come to your door. No waste. You get exactly what you need, no more, no less. They give you a beautiful, 8x10 recipe card, 8.5x11, I guess, recipe card. It's laminated with all the recipe, the instructions, pictures. They even have additional videos if you need more help on the website. It really is fun. It's like a kit, a kit that you get in the mail that you put it together and you add one ingredient, you add your love. And then it's so wonderful to share it with family and friends. And man, these menus, potato and artichoke quiche with romaine and orange salad, cod en papillote. That is a technique you will use again and again with fricka and spinach, steak and green peppercorn sauce with kale and roasted potato. I can go on and on. And actually, you can find out for yourself if you go to blueapron.com/twit. Take a look at the menu. Pick your next meals. Your first 3 meals are free. You always pick the meals you want. Yes, they have vegetarian options for dietary restrictions. Go to blueapron.com, pick your meals, get your first 3 meals free with free shipping. And Blue Apron does ship to 99% of the continental United States. There are some limitations because that's a refrigerated box. But get it if you can. It's so great. Free shipping, first 3 meals free. Blueapron.com/twit. Blueapron.com/twit. I think they're smart. Because we've all kind of experienced now being with the family, and now you want to do that some more. Blue Apron families cook 3 times, on average, 3 times more often together. Right? Blueapron.com/twit. We thank them so much for the support of This Week in Google. Now, where were we? Let's see. We can start with this one. This is from earlier this year, right at the beginning of the year. Google's business is advertising. Apple wanted to get into that business. Turns out it didn't work out so well for them. Watch.
Let's go back to Apple for 1 second if we could. I think we might have missed this story, and I think it's critical. Apple killed its ad service, fired its ad staff, and what's key about this is, and I've said this for some time, Apple failed at advertising, and thus Apple is now motivated to pull the rug out from everyone else who depends on advertising. So watch for Apple to get more and more hostile to advertising on mobile, which is where everything's going to go. And there's going to be more. I'll bet they're going to make ad blockers defaulted, and they're just going to say to publishers.
They're making
the advertising world.
They're making a virtue out of a necessity because I think the truth is I had failed, and they were putting too many restrictions on advertisers. It was too much work. There were a lot of reasons. It was the little banner ads you see in apps and things like that. Oftentimes a full page takeover in apps. So they're shutting it down. But what they're doing is I agree with you, Jeff, is going to double down on this. Oh, but we're all for user privacy. And obviously, running an ad network is kind of counter to that notion. So I think
it's the thumb up the nose of or other bodily orifice of Google.
Yeah,
it's the way Apple can fight Google.
I don't think it's. You need not say a thumb up the nose. Merely a way to position themselves as the privacy company.
I know. I think they can actively hurt Google.
I'd be very careful about thumbing Google's nose, as Microsoft has learned to its detriment. I think. Now, after the Gmail man ads, put them in an awkward position.
It was interesting to me that Microsoft, for a while in Internet Explorer, was proposing blocking any third-party thing that was included for more than like 3 sites, which would have the net effect of blocking like all analytics and a ton of different ad things. And so Microsoft pulled back from that based on what a lot of people said, but it seems like Apple, to Jeff's point, has kind of at least enabled that, or, you know, a couple steps of indirection enabled that. And what's also interesting to me is people love Patreon, which takes, I think, 5% cut. And people sort of chafe at maybe Apple taking a 30% cut of purchases. And so it's interesting to think about that spectrum of like, where does the love start, you know, and where does it become a business transaction? Yeah, people love CD Baby and those kinds of businesses. And maybe it's just that it's a small percentage. I'm not sure.
Kevin?
Well, I think that's right. I think there is a transition here from what you can support with what, because part of what we've learned from Patreon and Kickstarter and other systems like that is that actually people are willing to pay for things, but they're willing to pay different amounts of money for different things, and that depends on how much they like the thing and how much disposable income they have. And
Kevin, they're not necessarily paying. Sorry.
So can I finish?
Go ahead.
Whereas advertising assumes that nobody wants to pay very much and commoditizes them all down to a uniform amount per person and spreads it out over that. So in effect, it only actually does work if you have millions of people watching, whereas Patreon, Kickstarter, and other things of that ilk can work if you have thousands of people watching if they care enough. And I think that's an interesting transformation of the media scene, and one that hasn't fully sunk in yet.
All I was going to say, sorry for the lag here. Paying for is a critical phrase here because they're not paying for access on Patreon. Really, they're paying to support.
Yeah, because even if you don't contribute, you get the podcast or the music or whatever. It's,
right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's a key difference. You're supporting versus paying to get.
And by the way, it's very limited what you can do with that. I'll be honest with you, because we tried to do that for several years at the beginning. Now, of course, we didn't have the infrastructure of Patreon, but there was no way I could have built Twit without advertising.
Right.
There's just nobody was going to give enough money to do what we've done. Even when we sold bricks to build the studio, we as many as we sold 1,800 bricks. It only went about a quarter of the way toward building the studio.
Right.
So,
but you are on the other end of that spectrum in that you do have, you know, you're in the millions.
I agree. But if you want to have that spectrum, you have to have a spectrum of monetization options. If you want everything to be small and user, you know, the patronage system is a great system, but there's only a few Michelangelos that can be, you know, and I think even fewer Medici's.
But there's even fewer New York Timeses. Is the point? Is that I think you can. I think if you frame it that way around, you've got it slightly backwards in that there are many people who could have their artistic work.
Right. We want many. That's right.
Whereas there is this sort of
there should be only one Twit.
There you go. Well, no, but there is this. I had this. I went to the Social Computing Symposium in New York last week, and one of the sessions there was TV people talking about how they use social media, and it was fascinating to hear their point of view on it, which is that their point of view is that TV is a wonderful thing because it enables us to do these large scale things, and it's like, well, it enables you to do those large scale things, but to say that the net doesn't enable that is to miss the point that it enables a gigantic range of things that TV cuts off.
Which we love.
It's very hard for those two mindsets to meet, because if you are successful in big media, it's difficult to take the kind of leap that you took, Leo, and say, okay, I can do this myself on my own time and on my own skill. It's not a trivial thing to do. It's actually very hard. And for them to, it's easier for them to say what we need is to find the people who are doing something in this trivial net media over here and make them into TV stars. And that's the sort of the mindset you get.
Yeah.
It's basically the original Max Headroom movie, 20 minutes into the future.
You actually are Max Headrooming right now, which is kind of an amazing kind of juxtaposition. One of the things we talked a lot about is Google AMP. And I really have misgivings. I still do about Google AMP, but we brought in as many people as we could to talk me off the ledge, including Jonathan Abrams. He's the founder of Friendster. You may remember that name. And is currently CEO of a news service that I use every single day called Nuzzle. He explained why AMP is a good thing. So here's kind of my issue. The thing that concerns me is, when I hear that image tags are different, Google has specified a new way of doing image tags. JavaScript is only allowed if Google allows it, and certain snippets are allowed and not, and many, many, many more are not. Well, everything else is not. It is... I understand the desire to do this and the value of it for users, but I worry that Google has invented a new kind of HTML without the involvement of standards bodies, just by talking to publishers, that is in effect, and this is what I said in the tweet, forking the web. So I wanted to give you a chance, A, to tell me what I got wrong, because that was your initial tweet, and B, is that not the case?
I don't think it's the case because it's not really a fork of the web. I mean, the reality is AMP is the web. It is a alternate HTML file, still HTML, still loaded via HTTP, and essentially it's just trying to standardize things more. So instead of all these different publishers having their own set of redundant bloated JavaScript libraries, Google's saying here is a single runtime that we're going to try to make solve all these needs and then address the bloat problem that's been causing so much problems for people on their mobile devices. And it is an open project. I mean, there's a GitHub repo, and whether you're on the client side or the publisher side, you can go and contribute and talk to them about that. Whether someday it becomes part of a standard thing, I don't know. I doubt Google would be opposed to that. But even now, it really is more open than any of the alternatives. And the alternatives are some of these closed platforms from some of these other big companies. And, the reality is if Nuzzle wanted to say, okay, publishers already publishing their content for Apple News or Facebook Instant Articles, great, let's just show that in Nuzzle. We can't do that. So that to me is really not open. Whereas AMP is something that we were able to be part of. And if publishers publish their stuff in AMP, if somebody in Croatia publishes something in AMP, and then some startup in New York builds some new app that supports AMP, to companies that have never even heard of, it's just going to work. So that's
true of any fork as soon as somebody supports it. But look what's prohibited.
Well, but Leo, let me try this on you. I think the difference is that a fork would mean that you'd be cut out and you couldn't use it.
No, not at all. That's not what a fork means. A fork means that you take so it would fork HTML, that you have a standard, and then Google's decided that instead of image, we'll use AMP. It's not a subset. It's a replacement.
It's not really. So HTML 4.0, I mean, that was kind of like a fork of HTML.
Yeah, but that was W3C proposed. That was through a standards body. The HTML has evolved. I don't have a problem with it evolving. But
the reality is Microsoft and Netscape and all those companies did fork HTML and added proprietary things that eventually flowed back into standards. In this case, Google's not even doing that. In this case, AMP is really simply just an HTML page. It is here's a JavaScript library that you can run in a standard browser in a standard HTML page instead of a proprietary JavaScript library from a publisher or one from all these different analytics and ad companies. It's a standard one, but it's still JavaScript running on an HTML page. It's not really a new kind of HTML, really.
Well, you can't use IMG. You have to use AMP-IMG. You can't use Object, param, applet, embed, form, prohibited.
You can use whatever you want to use,
but it won't be an AMP page.
It's just not going to be as fast.
No, it won't be an AMP page.
Yes, you can do whatever you want, but it's not an AMP page. But being an AMP page,
yeah. Here's where it becomes a problem.
And remember, this is the idea is that the AMP page is a alternative version of something that exists in regular HTML.
An alternative version that is from Google and is promoted in the Google search results. That's not, to me, the same thing.
They don't favor AMP per se. They don't favor AMP per se. They do favor speed, and AMP is fast, but they don't favor AMP per se.
So if somebody came out with
that's a difference, a distinction within a difference.
Their own AMP-like, faster way of doing things, that would also get the benefit to Google's search rankings. But it really isn't. Technically, it's not a fork. Technically, it really just is an HTML page with a. But it's like using jQuery instead of rewriting your own jQuery like library. This time, it's it's something that's been provided, but is open because there is a GitHub repo and people can go in there and see it all and contribute. But I think it's also important to think about this in the context of the different realistic options. So, option one is these proprietary platforms, which really are going back to like the CompuServe and AOL days, these truly closed platforms. Option two is that everybody just starts using ad blockers or using the reader mode in Safari or Firefox and stripping all the branding and business model stuff out of the pages because they're just so frustrated by all the bloat and the problems. And I don't think those are really great options.
So this is the new, they turned this on today, right? Yes. And Mark Zuckerberg did a live feed of it.
Chris Cox did 2 live feeds. I see he was just on with Jorge Ramos.
And he's the guy behind it, I think. Chris Cox is
and much credit here to Fiji Simo, who is the head of, she does all kinds of product stuff, including new stuff, but she's been really absolutely nose to the grindstone since she got back from her maternity leave on video.
Now, you might say this is a
job with this. It's really
just a Me Too product. I mean, because this Meerkat and Periscope kind of did this too. In fact, Facebook even did this. Facebook Mentions, which was available only to the which camera I should look at this camera. Facebook Mentions, which was available only to the Digerati for some time and then was open to the public. But you had to use a separate application. Then they put it in Facebook. But this is different. This is more like Meerkat or Periscope because you could see we've got comments scrolling up here, and I can do a thumbs up on a comment. We also have up here a count, and it's live. And I should point out, I'm doing this on an iPad because you need iOS to do it. It's not available on Android yet. But it does work on the iPad. And I should point out that it's rock solid. If you saw, I mean, even Periscope, and it was working for you too, right, Jeff?
Well, show. You have
your feed.
On your laptop screen?
Yeah.
So go to your laptop screen and you get me as if I'm on. Now compare the quality of that. Now go to me on there. Now look how much better the quality
you look better.
Is. How less pink I am and more human and flesh-colored on Facebook Live than on Skype.
Now, what are you using? I thought you didn't have an iPhone.
Right, so I'm using my Nexus 6P, the front-facing camera.
So it does work on Android.
No, I'm using Mentions.
Oh, because you're using the old product, which has been upgraded.
No, it looks like yours. It looks like yours.
Yeah, they've upgraded it then. Yeah.
But yeah, the Skype is so much worse.
But it's because, I'll tell you why, because Skype's doing it in real time. In fact, we have to use Skype so that you and I can converse.
True.
In real time. This is not a conversation medium. There is about 5-10 seconds
they're
lag.
Do groups. If you go to the post that announces all the new features, one is they're going to allow, well, at least you can do video to a closed group. I don't know if you can do group talk or not.
So this is competing more than with just Periscope and Meerkat. This is also competing with Facebook's Hangouts.
This is Google's Hangouts.
I'm sorry, Google Hangouts. Wow, that's very interesting.
I think so. Live for groups and events. So maybe it's just to...
Well, you know who's using it right now? It's kind of timely. Loic Lemur, who, of course, is a good friend, an entrepreneur, founder of Seismic, which was, video messaging. He did a conference for years called Le Web in Paris, and he sold that. He's now doing a new conference called Leaders, LEADE.RS. And he's been streaming today from his Leaders Conference in Paris with some big names, too. Reid Hoffman.
The week.
It's an interesting way to do a conference, isn't it?
It really is. It really is.
Especially since he charged like $800 to go in person. But you'd probably prefer to go in person because you got a chance to network and meet people. And I think this is a great way to promote an event. Look at everybody's now doing that. Google streams most of I/O. Microsoft just streamed most of Build. Of course, you still have an incentive to pay thousands of dollars to go and do it in person. But if you can't, to schmooze. But if you can't, this makes sense for conferences. He had Phil Libin on, the founder of Evernote, who's now become a venture capitalist. That was earlier today. Pretty impressive.
So you can also broadcast just to a group.
So like a closed group. You can invite.
Closed group at Facebook events. Now,
you know why they do that, though? They do that for family, right?
I would imagine. But also companies, don't forget Facebook for Work. They're trying to push that.
You know what? Loic is not doing this as leaders. He's as part of his leaders conference. That's not till next month. This is promotional for his leaders conference. So he sat down with Phil, and they're doing a teaser. And he used mentions for this. So is it? I mean, look at Meerkat went bad. Periscope. I don't see a huge adoption. I don't see a lot of Periscope videos on my Twitter timeline. Why is this better? Why is this going to do better than that, or even Hangouts? Google's Hangouts.
The power of Facebook.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I think that these are people, my friends. I'll get a notification. I'll see what's what. The fact that they can do it to a group, I think, is interesting. When I do this, I mean, the problem is this is not Hangouts yet, but it's not going to take much for them to do that. And then you also saw they have a Facebook Live map, where journalistically, if something starts going on in the world, you can go and find people who are broadcasting live from events in that location. Journalistically, that'll be huge. If you go to the post, Leo, the Facebook post first mentioned, down the page, you'll see the Facebook Live map.
Oh, that's interesting.
Isn't it? Now, it's not live. I don't know how live it is now. They don't promote every video that's on. They just promoted some videos.
Well, that was one of the cool things about Periscope is you could see a map of all the different Periscopes and, join other people's Periscopes and so forth. The idea was to build a community.
No, I click on you. I click on what looks like California, and there you are, Leo.
Hey, California, how are you? Good to see you.
But it's telling me that you're live now.
Yeah.
And I can click around the world and go to different live
That's
feeds.
kind of fun.
Go to Elmaz Kara is now live.
Well, that's Periscope did this too.
Triplet is now live.
But I wonder, I think one of the cool things about this is, I remember when I was a kid, I used to listen to shortwave radio. I mean, God, we've come a long way in the intervening 50 years. But it was so cool. Amazing. I could listen and hear, I'm listening to Moscow. Gotta eat Moscow. Yeah. And now it's, I can watch video from somebody in St. Petersburg showing, and it's nothing.
Charles L. Huff is live right now from Senegal.
Wow.
Stefano Procida is live right now from somewhere in the middle of Spain, along with Aline Giuseppe. France.
How long?
It's amazing.
How long before Facebook puts this in the right-hand column where it shows, trending?
I know. So mouse over any one of those dots. You'll find you on there.
There I am.
There you are. And it's showing all the people who are watching you and where they're watching from. That is
look at that. So it's drawing a line.
That is
man. 2 people are watching us in Hawaii, South America. Wow. We are getting a hello Southeast Asia. Look at that.
Wow.
Australia, 3 people in Australia. 1 in Perth. Wow. That is really cool. That is really neat. Now, where do I find the map again?
Go to the Facebook post. Go to Facebook Live Map. It's facebook.com/live map.
Okay, facebook.com/live map. Wow. So this shows the power of Facebook, really, because they've got the servers, they've got the community, they've got the network, they've got everything, and they can put that together fairly instantaneously, right?
Jeez.
Should they worry about the content? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I mean,
oh yeah. Well, let me show you, Leo.
No, please don't.
Yeah, of course they're going to, and I wonder what they're doing about that. I don't know if anybody asked Chris Cox about that today.
It's the real names thing is going to help a little bit, right?
Yeah, because if you muck up, notice I used an M there, so don't go to me Facebook. Muck up. They'll kill your account.
Right.
Yeah.
So you don't want to. You want to use this in a responsible fashion. What there would be no advantage. I'm still streaming, by the way.
I'm still streaming too. And poor people. By the way, for those of you who are here, all 271, my name is Leo. This is the Twig broadcast. You can go to twit.tv/live.
Yeah.
And you'll see the real show. I'm just showing.
But it won't be as much fun.
Well, they're only hearing me now, so they hear long silences than me.
So, incidentally, somebody in the chat room, thank you, Carlos Contreras, says the live map is in the left column under apps. It's the very first app listed. So you can, that was just another shortcut to go there.
The funny thing is there's a lot of people, if you look at the dots, with 0 viewers.
Well, yeah.
They're not as famous as we are, Leo.
No, but wow, I feel like this is really interesting technology.
This is fascinating.
Yeah.
So now I'm around the New York area. There's something called Iraq News, and they're live with 353 viewers, tons from Iraq.
Imagine. I mean, this is the beginning of a new medium almost, a new broadcast medium. And in a way that even though Periscope pioneered it, or Meerkat, or Justin.tv pioneered it, this is so easy, and so many people are on Facebook. I can only imagine what the impact is. I mean, would CNN start using this?
Well, yes, they will. In fact, a lot of broadcasters, if you go to the Facebook Live page at the bottom, you'll see broadcasters have been using it all day. But the best story about this is Jorge Ramos from Univision. When he covered, for example, the New Hampshire primary, he did 3 broadcasts that added up to 75 minutes.
Right.
So they were long broadcasts, and he got 4.5 million viewers that day.
And of course, he's been using Snapchat and all these media. But I think the advantage of this is, now I presume after I'm done, this is saved on my Facebook timeline. Right?
Yes, it is. This is going to be a lot of really long, boring video on the Facebook. In my case, because it's one-sided. But they don't hear. The people want to hear you, and all they're hearing is me.
Steve Saylor, who's a good friend from the Toronto area, says we started using it at the radio stations he works for.
Makes sense.
Yeah. We'll use this. Okay, so we're going to be at somebody asked, are you going to be at NAB with this? We're going to be at the National Association of Broadcasters Convention next month in the LiveU booth. What is LiveU? It's a company that sells or leases some very expensive hardware that allows you to live stream from anywhere using the cell network. Wow.
This is impressive.
Wow.
Chris Cox and PG.
Stefan says it's not reached. The live map cannot be reached from France. I don't know why that would be, but it's interesting because in general this is a global rollout, right? I think, what did they say, 190 countries or something?
Well, yeah, because people, if you look at the map, they're using it from
everywhere.
Everywhere, man. Wow. Iraq Weed is live now.
That is amazing. That is really fascinating. We live in interesting times. And then I guess I see. The reason you saw that is because it had a pulsing blob.
Yes.
And that is music from Iraq.
Yes,
they're featuring it. Maybe that's it.
I guess so, because that's showing the connections.
I'm seeing some featured stuff. Here's one from Thailand. 308 viewers. I hope it doesn't devolve, though, to attractive young women, getting all of the feeds, but people, especially males, being what they are.
Okay, well, Leo, that's the difference, right? How are you going to discover a video? In general, you're going to discover it because it's somebody who's already involved with your feed in some way, or it's a news source that you're following. It's another reason to want to follow a news source. You're not going to get it just because, unless you go to this map. But even then, it's so random, the map. I think it's a way to sample. Why don't you hit a few? Let's just watch what's happening.
Okay. Here's Anja Jakasbonson from here from Wiesbaden. She's in the car, it looks like. Oh no, she's just sitting in our living room.
Is she speaking German, or?
I presume so. She's smoking.
Anja, you should quit smoking. Put a comment in there.
Nein, nicht Milena geht.
372 viewers.
I was saying there, Leo, Rauchen ist verboten.
Rauchen ist verboten. Okay, how do I do that? I type that in.
R-A-U-C-H-E-N. You got a comment somewhere at the top,
Okay.
don't you?
Yeah, somewhere. She sneezed. I don't see how I comment. Where do I
Anja, was
comment?
machst du in Hessen? Pass auf dich auf. Wer hat das geschrieben?
I can like it.
Weird.
Maybe it's over.
In Anjas Live.
No, it
in
says
Facebook.
live.
Ah.
Wer hat das geschrieben? Hä? Wer hat das geschrieben? Tel Karima Christaro. Oh, ja.
I've been told by people like Chad Johnson, people who work on Twitch a lot, that the key to success in at least Twitch videos is to interact with the chat room.
Yes.
I think I've learned that in other venues. Hey, thanks for being here.
Absolutely. Happy to be here.
It was kind of exciting, wasn't it? This is a first time ever at the Shoreline Amphitheater. Can you remember anybody an outdoor keynote ever before? I think we've ever done something like that. I know Google hasn't.
I think Moses was the last time.
Moses, yes. I have some commandments for you. That was the last time we had an outside keynote. These are the thinnest, lightest commandments we've ever made. So let's start with Matt. Now, I know you're a Google employee, but contextualize what we saw today for us. What does it all mean?
Well, I really liked that Google is not giving up on trying to figure out getting messaging right. And, some of the stuff like Allo, I think is really interesting because you've always got people who can criticize and they can say, oh, it's going to do this or what about this or that? But I think it's really promising to see Google really not willing to give this up yet. We're going to try to figure out what makes the right sense for Android and for iOS. How do you get a platform? And then there was also this underlying backbone of artificial intelligence and machine learning where whether it's Google Home or Allo, all the way through a lot of the different things, you could see Sundar mentioning that. And as a web guy, I was really happy to hear him call out progressive web apps and the accelerated mobile pages because, to have the CEO saying, hey, this is important and here's the kind of speed improvement you can get, I think that's really nice.
I actually stand corrected. Windows 95 launch was an outdoor launch, I think at a big Seattle event. But what Windows 95 launch had, which the Google launch did not have, is a bunch of geeks biting their lower lips and dancing in the most ungainly fashion possible.
That is unfortunate.
Thank you
We're
very
not
much.
going to dance today,
No
are we?
dancing. Do you feel like Allo is kind of the on-phone analog of Google Home, the new physical hub that they announced? It feels like really what Google's doing is putting Google everywhere. They've now coined the name. Is this new, Matt? Calling it Google Assistant? Is that something new?
I
or
think that is new.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they needed that because we didn't know what to call it. We have Siri, we have Cortana, we have Alexa. But
yeah, you name it.
Yeah. So Google Assistant now, and the idea is let's put it everywhere. It's on your phone. It's in your house. You talk to it. It will respond. It seems like it will respond in a similar way no matter what platform you use. I think that's very compelling, man. This is the science fiction dream that I had for a long time.
Well, and if you think about it, a very good way to think about Google is Google cares about how people get to Google. How do people typically get to a Google? Well, get to a Google search, they get there via a browser. Okay, well, we need to have a browser. And in fact, it's called Chrome because it tries to get all the Chrome out of the way, and how else do people get to, Google? Well, they'll use a mobile operating system. Oh, okay, that's interesting. They'll use a laptop like a Chromebook. Okay, well, that's interesting. And so over and over again, you can see Google being very worried about people who can get in between users and Google and add barriers or obstacles. And so I do think it's a pretty smart way to think about it as if you can do voice recognition, if you can do the machine learning, if you can be a useful assistant, the mechanism of exactly how that gets delivered, whether it's a little hockey puck beside you or whether it's in your Google Now or your Google Assistant, I think Google is pretty agnostic about that, but they want people to be able to do that and thinking about how to get around those barriers so that users can do those searches with the minimal amount of friction is a pretty good way to think about what Google might or might not do.
Well, and speaking of which, neither Allo nor Duro require a Google account. They're both tied to your phone number, not to your Google account.
because there's so many people around the world who don't have Google accounts, or that's just another element of friction. And so I think maybe you know the phone number of your friend and you don't know their email address or something like that, making it as easy as possible that you can have those interactions without worrying about join here, off to whatever, that kind of stuff. Just makes it a lot easier. So
is it the end of Hangouts?
I think I saw on Twitter they need to clarify what's going on with Google Voice and Hangouts and all that sort of stuff. And I think that's a fair knock, because you can try to have a monolithic communication app, or you can say, oh, no, it's actually better to break it into different ones, like Facebook split out Messenger, and the right answer might evolve over time. But I do think Google needs to do a better job of saying, okay, here's what happens with Google Voice, here's what happens with Google Hangouts, because like you like Google Voice, you've used it a lot in your past, or Google Fi,
Right.
I love Google Fi. I'm going to use it when I'm going abroad in a few weeks, and that's very well supported. But how exactly all those pieces interact, I think Google could do a better job of explaining what their future roadmap looks like.
What do you think, Jason? Is it the end of Hangouts?
I don't know how they can exist at the same time, how Allo and Duo can exist side by side with Hangouts, because yes, Allo and Duo bring their own expanded functionality, but I feel like Hangouts, it was basically like the next iteration of Hangouts was kind of how I saw it, and they did a great job with it. I'm very excited to use it, but I don't know, like I was saying earlier, there's so much confusion already that when you have a messaging app and a smart messaging app, you have a messaging app that has video chat, and then you have a video chat app. I don't know how they coexist without doing some sort of either elimination or convergence, or I don't know how they treat that, but it feels a little messy as far as that's concerned.
We need more clarification. And they were quick to say that Allo isn't available till summer and Duo is not available till summer. What do you like? How do you like this thing, Jeff, where the knock thing, where when you call somebody, they see you before they answer?
Right. So it really struck me as that's the end of Alexander Graham Bell. It's the end of the bell. It's the end of the ringtone, and all that idea is that, and it also means that you've now got to sell your call, because nobody wants to talk on the phone, right? Nobody likes that anymore. So it's going to be, I'm doing something crazy. You got to talk to me right now.
Hi, like his daughter, like, hi, Daddy, talk to me. Daddy, talk to me.
Yeah. It's oh, could you not talk to me? Pick up my phone, please.
It's going to be a whole new way of calling. Android N. They did talk a lot about Android N. Hiroshi Lockheimer came on the stage, but they said, we're going to let you name it. Come on, Matt, what happened? They couldn't get the rights to Nutella?
Well, my favorite conspiracy theory is that Sundar Pichai visited India, and someone was like, why don't you name it after this, dish that starts with an N? And he's like, well, this was like a year ago. He's like, maybe we'll open it up to an online poll, and maybe everyone in India will vote for it the next day or something like that. And so, who knows? But I think at the very bottom in the fine print, it says we reserve the right to pick whatever we want. This is for entertainment purposes only. It won't be judged. And I think they mean you won't get feedback when you say it ought to be called Nutella or not roll or whatever.
And they specifically said it will not be Namey McNameface.
Namey McNameface. They brought that right up. Smart.
Yeah. Android, nope.
The deadline is 11:59 p.m. Pacific time, June 8th. So I presume that by, the next couple of weeks we'll learn. You go to android.com/N and you name Android N. And I guess this is the Indian dish, Neapam.
It seems like Sundar might be trying to slant it that way.
Android Napalm, really? I don't know if Napalm is really the name we should give that. Here's noodles and nectarines, nutmeg. Oh, I like this one. It had a Post-it note. It's Narshmallow. The Post-it note fell off. Wait a minute, let's see. They took marshmallow, crossed off the M, and put the N on there, and then the Post-it note fell off. Navy bean. That's not a dessert. Nuts and nachos.
As if only nachos were desserts. Oh. Alas.
Nachos.
Maybe what they're saying is it doesn't have to be a dessert anymore.
Nachos.
Anymore.
What about nachos? Nuts and nachos together. Two great treats together at last. And then there's a video of the naming. I wish it were like this. This is straight out of Silicon Valley, right?
I didn't see
I'm John Smith. I'm CEO of PNI, Professional Naming Incorporated. Yes, we are working on something big. The latest version of Android needs a name. They want people everywhere to share their ideas, but I think it's a job for PNI.
They had Kit Kat a while ago, Jelly Bean, Lollipop, Marshmallow.
I was thinking maybe since we had Marshmallow last time, maybe now we were going to have Narshmallow. I don't hate it. Maybe like toasted marshmallow if you...
Chum, do you...
You want to make sure
His
that
name
the
is
end
Chum?
is inspired.
People on the streets, they wouldn't understand a lot of what we're doing. There's a lot of mathematics and metrics in it, but it's really half science and half art. It's both. It's math and art. It's like a baby. When you give birth to a baby, it's science, but it's a baby and that has a soul. And then you have to name it. Nut show.
Nut show.
It's a nut show. No, nut.
Everything is changing constantly. It's a global world. If you don't do it right away, it's
there it
already
is again.
somebody else is
Napalm.
printing it on a t-shirt.
Nashi pear, navel orange. It's direct, distinct. You know exactly what it is.
I feel really close to Narshmallow.
I love noodle because it's got a length to it.
They say if a shark stops swimming, it's dying. Or I don't know if it's dying if it stops swimming, or if you're not out there like a shark, naming things like a shark would. I'm not sure if that's... Okay, so let's bring it in, everybody. We are names. We are
We don't need these guys, reads the text. We just need you. What would you name? Hashtag Android N. I think that's actually, it's a lot of fun. It's not going to get Bodie McBoatface. It's going to get something.
You know Landor Associates?
Yeah, that's what they do, right?
That's what they do.
Yeah.
I think they created Verizon.
They call it branding. Or nanding.
Neanding.
Today, Facebook published its criteria for the news feed, which I thought, I don't know, have you had a chance to look at this yet, Jeff?
Oh yeah, I wrote a quick post about it, which you'll find there.
Okay.
The Facebook did two things today. One was that they, for the first time, gave people a little more transparency into the algorithm to the extent that they said, here are the principles that guide what we do.
Newsfeed values. Yeah.
Right. You want your family and friends first. That's our job. That's what Facebook does. People also want to be informed and entertained. Now, when I've heard this in the past, it was the opposite order. It was friends, entertainment, information.
I know. This hasn't been my experience. Here's the quote. That's why if it's from your friends, it's in your feed, period. You just have to scroll down. That's not been my experience, but I'm...
No, that's not true. That's not true. No, because a lot of my friends put stuff I don't want.
That's...
but at the same time, the second thing they did, which is that they also tweaked the algorithm to say, yes, we're going to favor friends even more. And they're warning news organizations there may be an impact. Well, the news organizations went batnish. Oh, pardon me. Sorry about that, Carson. Edit. They went crazy. And the New York Times, shock, they're going to show us cats. No news. They're a news organization. What are they doing? They've never been a news organization. It's never been a priority. This is a matter of degree. But the Neiman Lab post was the most reasonable, but most of the other posts I saw said, oh my God, they're going to de-emphasize news. Everybody who's partnered with Facebook is basically an idiot. Well, we've got to wait and see over time and experience and data what actually happens. Yes, there's an impact. But the real lesson here is Facebook is not a place to read 1,000-word articles. Facebook is a place where you discuss things. Yeah. And we in news have to feed those discussions appropriately to the platform. We don't get mad because Snapchat will not let us put up an article, and we have to make things specially and appropriately for Snapchat. Well, Facebook is trying to gently guide us there, I think. Nonetheless, all my Eeyores in the news business all went crazy today, saying big bad Facebook is ruining news again. And I don't think that's the case.
So the problem, one of the problems, I should say, is that a lot of news organizations in the last year or so have oriented towards Facebook, and it's a significant driver of their traffic when you're trying to achieve those crazy scales. So it makes sense that everyone's like, holy cow, they're changing the algorithm. It's like the Greeks when they were like, oh, the gods are mad at us again when, it didn't rain in enough time. That's what it feels like. So I don't know.
Are they going to start sacrificing goats on Mark Zuckerberg's porch is the question.
They'll be sacrificing journalists as per usual.
Farhad Manjoo's headline in the New York Times, Facebook, a news giant that would rather show us baby pictures.
Yeah, that's just so condescending, not only to Facebook, but to every user of Facebook.
Yeah. I think actually, I'll have to say Facebook, from my experience, is doing it about right for me personally.
Yeah, same here.
I go there and I see a nice mix. I do see a lot of news, and I can't verify that I'm seeing everything my friends and family post, but I see a nice mix. And you're right, and I don't want to necessarily see everything my friends and family post. Facebook's ultimate metric is, I mean, I don't think this is a surprise, is, how much time you spend there, period. And they're going to just...
And they have the data. They
know
what you like and what you don't like.
So they're gonna just watch and see what you like and what you interact with, and they're going to give you more of that because that's their only real job. Right?
The lesson here is the same as it is to me from VidCon. Is that it's the lesson I learned last year at VidCon. They're not about content, it's about social tokens. You make things to serve the conversations people have, and you can serve it with journalistic value, with facts and fact-checking and information and explanation and education, but you do it appropriate to how people live their lives. We don't do that. We still make a destination product called an article. Well, sorry, folks, but that's what we have to rethink. And Facebook is gently, not so gently, making us do that.
You know, it's really happening. It's another similar shift from the library to the internet. So the way you use the library is very different the way that you use the internet. But the library is the old days where you would go to the library and you would get something to read. And similarly, you would go to the New York Times site and get something to read. But nowadays, you don't need to go to the library. You go to the internet, which is this tossed salad of things to read. If you want to find something to read, you can, but you're not going to go to the New York Times. You're going to go to a news aggregator or Facebook or Twitter, and you're going to see a story you're interested in, read that, and then read another, a crouton from the Washington Post and a onion ring from the New York Magazine, and you're going to move around. Is that an apt analogy?
Leo, let me ask you a question to get you in trouble. Are you saying that libraries should close?
Well,
Wait, Jeff.
As repositories of books, they need to... No, they shouldn't close. What they should do is that they need to rethink their role in the internet age. They're no longer the place you go to find facts.
They know that.
Of course they do. It's the thing librarians have been chewing on for 20 years.
Yeah, and I really think they're trying, what they should do, libraries' role should be to provide community services for people to educate themselves, get access to things that they haven't been able to. I know like our library is doing a lot with literacy, adult literacy, for example. They're doing a lot with, a lot of libraries are opening up maker spaces. I don't know how they do that. In a quiet environment like a library, but they open up maker spaces and they have 3D printers and other things. And it's an investment, but I think those are the types of things that libraries can be a wonderful resource. Everybody knows where the library is, or most people do. So you go there to learn a little differently. You might not check out a book, but maybe you'll learn how to 3D print a holder for your tablet or something like that. And
so to extend my analogy, perhaps to the point of breaking, just as a library has to rethink its role in an internet era, so does a news journal. Because you can't expect people to go to the front page and read from the top to the bottom and see a giant full-page ad for Macy's. It doesn't work that way.
I think maybe the publishers have to. I mean, most journalists think of their job they think of their job as providing information. I think most of the people I do know
That's a
do
better
that.
way to hold it.
The business model, though, God help us all.
I have a little something.
Ooh. Is it a minion? I want it to be a minion.
Minion-like. You will now be my minions. You are my minions.
Oh, you got it. You didn't have to stand in line?
Spectacles.
I took advantage of this thing called eBay.
How much over the market was it?
It was only 200 some. Wasn't much.
Oh,
and
so they're down from 1,000.
Yeah, and it was a buy it now, and that's because the store in Manhattan's open all the time, or not all the time, but all evening. And so it's a lot, and you can make a reservation, so it's a lot easier. So I think people are actually, content to make $100.
I would be content to make $100.
Yeah, they go, they get a few. Yeah. So here you go. Should I open it? I mean, it's sealed in the box. I'll have to charge him. But I thought it's probably important for me to know about this. I'm not a big snapper, but
it is. It's totally important.
Yeah, this is something the kids are doing. And
you chose black, not coral or turquoise?
Well, okay, call me insane, but I didn't want to look too weird.
I'm going to call you old, Leo. I won't call you insane. I'll just be,
Now, I don't know. Is this supposed to be speckled like that, or is that mold? I guess it's supposed to be speckled like that.
That looks legit.
That looks legit.
Smell it and see what happens.
Oh, it smells like fine polyurethane. Oh, that's the charger. Right there. I'm going to need a...
Oh.
Yeah, because they charge in the case. Well, this is new in the box, kids. Ooh. All right, I'm going to put them on. I don't think there's a charge on them, but I'm going to put them on. You tell me how good I look, okay?
Goofy time.
You ready?
I actually think for your face, they should be a little bigger, Leo, which is kind of...
I have a very... Small. They look huge on everybody else, don't they? And I have such a melon head. I have the world's most massive head. And I have to actually buy special wide glasses. Like
the big and tall glasses?
I go to the big and tall glasses store. And these are too small for me. Dang it. I thought if anything would be big enough. Kara, come here. Yes. Kara, put these on and see how it looks on you. Kara's a beautiful young woman who has a normal size head. See, they look... Kara.
They look good.
They look so good on you. I should just give them to Kara. Oh, my gosh. I was actually... I think I'm going to keep them because I like the idea. I've heard that streaming live video is all the rage these days. So I was thinking maybe I should do some of that. I don't look like Casey Neistat, that's for sure. So look at this. They get a nice USB cable. And this is proprietary. It's not a traditional USB cable. It's got pogo pins that go in the back of this. But you know what, John? I'm just going to plug it into the computer. I don't need a special dongle. I have
He just has to walk 3 feet to get to the computer.
Computer. I have a special computer. Okay. Oh. That is hard. Now you know you're old when it's a workout to get up and go on the other side of the table.
Well, when you go that way, yes.
Yeah, that is the long way. All right, so I'm going to put them in this box. And I have to peel stuff off. Peel that off. Oh, I see.
Can I say that I love charging things in their boxes? As I've got all these like proprietary cable dongle things.
Yeah, it's ugly, isn't it? I see behind you, you've got a charger. It's a pain in the butt, right?
Yes, behind me there's a charger and a connected blood pressure cuff.
Oh my God. Are you okay?
Oh yeah, I was just testing.
You know what's cool? This is good design too. So the pogo pins, I was wondering, well, where do I plug these in? Because you don't see any visible. The pogo pins are hid behind the hinge on the glasses. So when you
you have to plug them in?
Well, you put them in the case.
Oh, you just connect it.
But there's got to be a way to connect to the case, right? And so to the charger in the case, and it just goes. It's not the most. Oh yeah, you could see. You could tell you're doing it right because the little LED array lights up. And actually, they're mostly charged. So I'm going to let them sit there for a little bit and throb gently while we do the show. And maybe a little later in the show, I'll Snapchat this. All right, now what did it say? It said take a picture. Where's the button on this? Here it is. There's the button. So I press this button, and I'm supposed to see a QR code, right? What happened? I got to read this again. Install the latest version of Snapchat. Oh, swipe down to view your snap code. Oh, I wasn't viewing my snap code. Okay. Look at your snap code and press the button on the spectacles. Okay. There's my snap code if anybody wants it. You can show my snap code. Oh, Snapchat would like access. Yes. Keep looking directly at the snap code. I'm looking. Spectacles found. This has to be easy because this is aimed at, name your spectacles. What should I name them? Banana.
I was going to say Blues Brothers come up a lot.
Oh, yeah. It's dark. We're wearing sunglasses. We got a full tank of gas. I'm going to call it Hit It. Isn't that what they say at the end of that quote? Hit it. And then only I will know what I'm talking about, but it's a little Blues Brothers reference. These are the Hit It spectacles. Connecting the spectacles. So exciting. I can now select an accessory. Oh, hit it. See? Hit it. And
Boom.
It's a little emoji with sunglasses on. Setting up spectacles. All right. So it's fairly easy. It's, this is what the Eros and the Orbeez and everything, these are all like this. Same kind of thing where I'm paired. Okay, press once to take a 10-second video snap. Press again to extend by 10 seconds, or press and hold to stop recording. So I've been reading. There's articles on how to get good snaps. And one of the things it says is if you triple tap, you get 30 seconds. Double tap the side to check your battery level. Okay. If you're running low, put the spectacles in their charging case. Specs light up when they're charging. Yeah, I noticed that. Charging case holds about 4 full charges. Oh, that's neat. So I'm charging the case. Oh, that's cool. All right. And then apparently I have a story already. All right. Get HD. What does that mean? By default, stories are imported in SD. You can import your favorite stories in HD. I got it. Okay. All right. No. All right. So should I do a story?
Probably.
All right. Look at me now. Look at me. All right. Ready? I'm going to tap it twice for 20 seconds. This is what happened when Leo got his brand new Snapchat spectacles. Everybody was so jealous. They just turned bright green. Hello, everybody. Is it snapping? Snapchatting?
Snapchatting? I don't know. Snapping sounds snappier.
I'm with the kids, man.
Does the light go around in it?
Yeah, that's to let you know that it's going. Man.
That's
Can
really
you
cool.
see that it's recording?
Yeah.
That's
now,
the light goes around.
Like from your perspective?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, you can't see anything.
Okay.
And now it's
dark.
So the thing I read said a couple of things. Put your hands in the Snapchat a lot. Otherwise, it just looks like a video. But this way now you know it's first person if you do that. They also said have a beginning, a middle, and an end. They also said, what else did she say? Anyway, stuff like that.
I kind of like the idea of just being like surreptitious videos that you've snapped. Or
there ain't that surreptitious, but yeah.
Well, yeah.
Everybody's going to stay away from the guy with the goofy glasses.
Right after the show, I'm going to Vegas.
Okay. You going to use it to count cards? Send it to your hedge fund dude in the back? I bet they don't like it.
What do you think if I go in the casino with this and try to play blackjack? They're not going to like that.
Yeah, I think you should record whatever happens.
Were there any stories of Google Glass at casinos?
Oh, probably not. Probably you don't get through the door. I will try. I do have experience with this because one CES, we were going to an event through a casino with a camera crew, and I said, get everything. And we immediately got stopped and said, you have to turn your camera off. And my camera guy, who bless his soul, fought him. And I said, not physically, but he was, no, I'm not going to press. So I said, no, it's all right. Don't just pretend you're turning it off. I think we were streaming live. So
yes, in June 2013, the New Jersey Division of Gaming Enforcement issued a directive for Atlantic City to ban casino patrons from using.
They don't want any
Glass.
video, any camera in the casino.
Huh? Is it because of things like tracking and card counting?
I think possibly, but also they just don't want anybody know. It's the same reason the TSA doesn't want you to take pictures at TSA.
Well, that's silly.
Actually,
it's also you're catching people in affairs.
Oh, that's true too. What happens in Vegas
should stay there.
Shows up on Snapchat.
Well, everybody should follow me. I just showed you my thing. I don't remember what it was, but I'm that guy on
your
Snapchat.
Your handle.
I think I'm Chief Twit. I don't know.
So can we watch it on Snapchat now?
I don't know what happens next.
It goes to, yes, it's on Snapchat. You may have to approve it, actually.
I don't know.
But it should tell you because.
Could somebody go look and see if I'm Chief Twit on the Snap.
Right, hold on.
I don't know how this stuff works.
Let me find my
Snapchat is intentionally, by the way, obtuse because that's all part of the mystique. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this best of. I know I have. It's so fun to go down memory lane. Welcome Stacy to our team. Watch Jason make almost a biggest fool of himself as I did when I stuck the pen in the Galaxy Note 6 or 5 backwards. Maybe this year we'll bring a Galaxy Note 8. Wouldn't that be interesting? I know this year we'll bring a lot to talk about, and we'll do it right here on This Week in Google. We really appreciate your listening or watching, and I hope you will come by. We do it live if you'd like to participate live every Wednesday, 1:30 p.m. Pacific, 4:30 p.m. Eastern, 21:30 UTC. And if you can't watch live, there's always an on-demand version available anytime you want in your favorite podcast app if you just subscribe, or just go to our website, twit.tv/twig, or YouTube, youtube.com. I'm not sure what the link is. Just go to youtube.com/twit, and there's a link to the Twig channel right there. Thanks for being here. I hope you had a wonderful holiday, and I wish you all the best for a brand spanking new year. Have a great 2017. We'll be right here this coming Wednesday, January 4th. I hope you will too.